Welcome to our 12 days of Genealogy media resources.
Each day, we're sharing different tools, platforms, and resources that can help you grow your family history skills.
We'll explore websites, books, podcasts, TV shows, and other helpful media that we've used on our own genealogy journey.
Whether you're a beginner or you've been researching for years, these resources can guide, inspire, and support your work.
So let's jump into today's genealogy media resource. Hey everybody, welcome to Journey Through the Generations. My name is Philip.
Hey guys, I'm Trisha.
And we are back with another episode of our 12 Days of Genealogy Media Resources. Today is day 10. We're almost
there
at the end. So please go back and listen to days 1 through 9. I hope that we have shared something that will help you in your research. So today, day 10, we're going to talk about books. So when people think about genealogy research, they often think about databases, census records, DNA tests, and birth certificates. That's all that stuff they hear about, and that is all good.
And
you need that.
It, yes.
But one of the most, I believe, powerful and sometimes overlooked resources in family history, especially from beginners, is books. So books, you can get all kinds of things from local histories, biographies, reference books, family stories. It can provide clues, context clues, tips. All that stuff matters in your genealogy research and can help you become a better researcher and helps paint a more accurate picture of your ancestors and where they lived, how they lived, and maybe why they didn't live longer.
Yeah.
All those kinds of heavy things that come with genealogy research. All that stuff can be, hopefully found in books, if not in records or online digitized files.
Right. And for me, I've always been a reader. I've always had a book in my hand. I read all kinds of things. So when I started this journey researching, I literally spent over 6 months just reading reference books on how to research. I wanted to make sure that I had a very good foundation and I knew exactly what I was doing, because I had started researching the previous year and didn't know what I was doing and gave it up. So that when I decided to pick it back up, I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what I was doing. And 2 of the books that I went to the library and I eventually bought, I'm going to talk about today. One of them is Black Roots, A Beginner's Guide to Tracing African American Families by Tony Burrows, and The Complete Idiot's Guide to Genealogy, Quick and Easy Methods for Discovering Your Ancestry. And for me, these really helped me understand exactly what family history genealogy was. It gave me a good foundation on how to start, and it gave me information to be able to research my African American history. So these are 2 of the books that were very important to me that I still utilize and reference to this day. When I have questions or when I need some inspiration, I go to these two books because they've helped me out that much.
Yeah, and like the first book that I bought for Trisha, but I bought it and I looked in it too when I first started, but it's called The Family Tree Toolkit, a comprehensive guide to uncovering your ancestry and researching genealogy. Is by Kenyatta Berry. She's the former host of Genealogy Roadshow, which we've talked about on episodes in the past.
Love her.
Yep, but
hey, Kenyatta.
Yeah, we met her in 2019 at Roots Tech. And we bought her book, and she signed it to Trisha because I still was kind of new in genealogy research, so I really wasn't involved. I was the cameraman, but I took a picture. And did I take a picture with her too?
You did. Yeah, we did.
So anyway, this book is great for people who are just starting out. It talks about how to start your family history. It talks about public records, pensions, immigration, military, all kinds of things. And so it's a big, healthy book that you can use to reference for your genealogy research. And hey, I think that you should use it. But these books that we're talking about today, I am going to put a link in the episode notes so that you can purchase the books if you want to. These are going to be our Amazon affiliate links. So we do get a small commission for what you purchase, but it doesn't cost it doesn't cost you anything more. So, so definitely that's a way to help support us and what we're doing. So we would appreciate it that if you do purchase these books, that you use our links in the episode notes. So thank you. So, you want to go ahead and talk about a couple of other books?
Yeah, I was just going to say those are reference books, how to research type books. The next book is more of a memoir book. It is Somerset Homecoming, Recovering a Lost Heritage by Dorothy Redford. And this is the story of how she started her research, and she researched she's African American, and she researched and found her enslaved ancestor. But not only did she find her enslaved ancestors, she found the plantation and the plantation owners' descendants. And she put together a family reunion of not only her family, but the descendants of the slave owner as well. And this was a 12-year process. And then she got this reunion together. And this book is so powerful because reading this book in the beginning of my journey, I knew this was something that I could do as an African American, finding my family, finding my enslaved family, finding the ship that they came on and things like that. So this book really inspired me to continue going. And then we have books that you can find your actual own family in, because you never know who's writing books or who has written a book. I know I have found my family in different books, county books, people who were from my hometown who have written their own biographies or memoirs have talked about people in my family. So that's really important. You can always look for your family in other people's books. And of course, when you write your own book about your family history, then other people will be looking at your information from the area that you live in, looking for their family. So those are all the types of books that you can have and look for to be able to help you with your genealogy and find your family.
And I too have found family in books, and I actually found a family in 3 different books in 3 different places. So I found a book online that had some family in it. I was at the Family Search Library in Salt Lake City at Roots Tech Conference. I found a book with my family in it. Same family, by the way. And then when we were in Charleston, South Carolina, I think we had some free time, and we went to the library, and we found some books there with my same family. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely, your family's names could be mentioned in these books, and so
you just never know.
Want to, do that.
And I can't talk about books and genealogy and not mention Alex Haley's Roots. That is a book that is near and dear to my heart. I've read it, I don't know how many times. The first time I read it, I was 12 years old with my granny. So that is also, obviously, it's a memoir / family history book about how he traced his family back to Kunta Kinte. So just saying, I can't have a whole podcast about books and not mention that one.
Yep. So let's talk about a few benefits that you get by looking in books and why they're important. So number one is the books can provide a historical context that something like a census record or a birth certificate or something like that won't give you. And so what this context does, it turns the names and dates in those records into real people and real experiences and what's really going on. And so it helps you explain the why. All right. And then also it can point you to new records and research clues. And so Many of these genealogy and local history books, like Trisha just talked about, they reference sources such as churches and courthouse records, land grants, newspapers. All of those are clues to help you go and find research and potentially find your family. So it helps you think about things that you may not have considered before.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing is, books let you preserve the information that may not be digitized. And so Trisha has talked about these books about, her, the ones that her family is in and my family is in, and not everything is online. And so, and some things are never going to be online. I hope people realize that, there is a ton of information online, but not everything is going to end up online. And so you definitely want to make sure that you are checking like books, real books in a real library, in a real bookstore, in a real church, in a real school, and making sure that, you read those and it allow you the access to that information. So,
and I will just add that, like, for instance, the book that I have on, one of the books about my family, it has information from 1889 to 1894. And if you're familiar with genealogy, then you know that we don't have an 1890 census that we can use. But this book has information about who was in that county, and it has some tax records and things like that from those years that you can maybe fill in the gap when there's gaps in the records. Books can help you do that as well.
Yep. And if you would allow me, please, to step up on my little soapbox just a little bit.
Yes.
Books are being attacked daily these days.
Yes, they are, especially about history.
Yep, and they're being removed from libraries, from schools. And so you want to make sure that you are reading these books. You are making sure those books are still available wherever they need to be. If you need to purchase it and make it available somewhere, where the public can get it, or whatever the case may be, history books are being taken away. They are attempting to be rewritten. And so we definitely want to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Correct.
History is what happens. It teaches us where we were before and what has happened in the past, so that we do not repeat it. So,
absolutely.
So anyway, now I will step down off of my soapbox.
He's off now.
And I will tell you, thank you for listening. I hope you found some good information in this episode today. Like I mentioned before, all of the books that we've talked about today will be down in the description box, and come back tomorrow for day 11 of our 12 days. We're almost at the end. So thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to y'all later. Peace. Thanks for joining us for another day in our 12 days of genealogy media resources. Be sure to follow or subscribe, and check the description box for links and more details. Come back tomorrow for the next resource. We'll see you then.